Hello my beautiful friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Fatima. I am a makeup and skincare enthusiast. Today's video, as you can tell by the title, is a review of the brand Ciele Cosmetics. I have almost everything from the brand except for their stick bronzers and their powder because I am not a powder person. But if you want to know my thoughts about the powder, just let me know. I can pick it up and I can test it out for you guys. I have their skin tint, their concealer, bronzer, which is the bronzing drops, not the stick format. I have one of their blushes and one of their newer launches, which is their highlighter. I also have one of their newer launches, which is their Prime and Protect SPF 30. This works as a primer and as a skin protectant against sun rays. As you might know, this brand has mineral SPF in every product except for the Prime and Protect, which is SPF 30. Everything else is SPF 50, even the blush and the highlighter. This brand is a non-comedogenic brand and their products are all acne safe. So if you have acne prone skin and you have a struggle with finding a good mineral based sunscreen and products that won't bother your face and won't make your acne worse, these might be for you. I don't have active acne right now, but my skin is very dry. I have maturing skin. I'm 36. I have a lot of hyperpigmentation and a lot of dry patches. So if any of that interests you, please keep on watching. You're just gonna have to work with the light and hair situation today. I promise. I have washed and I have blow dried my hair, but I sometimes feel like my hair has a brain of its own. It's like a teenager in puberty. Sometimes it doesn't listen to anything. For my base, I'm gonna use Ciele's Prime and Protect SPF 30. This is a mineral SPF and it also doubles as your primer. I've never used this one. I kept it for this video to try it out. I picked this up during the Sephora sales event. This is the consistency of the product. It has a very light tint. Feels moisturizing too. That looks like it is going to be a good consistency, so we'll see. Let's apply this to the face. It feels nice. Very lightweight. Ooh, I'm excited now. When a mineral SPF is lightweight, that means you can apply as much as needed for your entire face without looking too greasy, too matte, without it being too noticeable. Making a mineral SPF that is wearable, it doesn't have a white cast, it doesn't have a pink cast, and it is lightweight, is very hard, and Ciele did a good job. I mean, this brand is basically mineral SPF based. This is a great product without having a cast. Everything else from the brand has some color in it and it is easier to hide the white cast when you have some color in your product, but it is very hard to hide it when you don't want it to change the color of the skin. It has 10% zinc oxide, which is not a low amount. It is so easy to work with. I just want to put on more and more, but that was enough for the base. I think my skin feels very moisturized and a little bit tacky, which is a good thing under the makeup. It's not super tacky like the e.l.f. Hydro Grip primer, but it is tacky enough and it is very moisturizing. In the reviews, I read somebody said they have dry skin and they thought this dried their skin out more after they wore it. I'm definitely gonna update you guys in the description box if that happens, but it doesn't seem to be that way so far. This is the face after I applied the sunscreen. I like the consistency. So that was the Ciele Prime and Protect. So far I am very happy with the product, but we'll see how it applies under the foundation, how it works with other things, which I'm sure it's gonna be fine because this is all from the same brand. For my foundation slash tinted moisturizer, I'm gonna use Ciele's Tint and Protect SPF 50. This is also a mineral SPF and it is non-comedogenic. This brand in general is a non-comedogenic brand. They are very cautious about their ingredients towards acne-prone skin. So if you have acne-prone skin, this is a good brand for you. This is how the bottle looks like. I love the color of everything in this brand. This is one of my favorite colors, this green. I know that it doesn't matter in makeup, but it makes me so happy to see all of these the same color. They look super good. The only thing I don't like about this one is that it is a dropper or a pipette or whatever you call it. With mineral sunscreens that are in a liquid form, not the cream form, the liquid form, you have to shake them before use. That's best if you do that. This doesn't say shake before use, but that's the safer choice, to shake them before you use them. And there is sometimes product stuck in the pipette, so it helps if you do this a couple of times. This basically just makes it look better. You don't have to keep it on here. But sometimes makeup gets on the tip of the pipette, so it's best if it is protected and you don't see it on your vanity. I don't keep my makeup on my vanity, and that's because makeup goes bad faster if light hits it. I usually keep my makeup in a dark place. That's just me because I have a lot of makeup. I review makeup and I love makeup, which means I have a lot of makeup at the same time, and I'm not gonna use them up fast enough for them not to go bad. That's why I don't keep them on my vanity or where the sun hits my makeup. But if you do, these are beautiful packaging. For this, I'm gonna use my fingers. I'm just gonna show you the consistency. I grabbed a couple of drops, and as you can see, this is a very runny consistency. Something else I've noticed with this brand, if you want to use your fingers, this is a great line of products. If you are in a hurry, you don't want to use brushes in the morning, you don't have many brushes and your brushes sometimes are dirty and you don't like washing brushes much, this is a good brand for you. This is not a foundation, it is a skin tint, so it doesn't have a lot of coverage. If you are looking for coverage, you can always get more coverage with their concealer, which I'm gonna use as my concealer in a second. But this is a skin tint, so don't expect a lot of coverage. This is the skin tint applied all over my face. This has a natural finish. It is not too glowy and it is not too matte. I have some dry patches here, as you can see. It does cling to dry patches, but every foundation basically is gonna do that. That's because you have some pigment in the foundation that gets stuck to your dry patches. I'm okay with it because it doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna blow my nose all day, so I'm not worried about it looking bad because it's gonna wear off anyways. And that's another good thing with skin tints. When they wear off, they don't look too obvious. For my concealer, I'm gonna use Ciele's Conceal and Protect SPF 50. What? When did this happen? I didn't even notice it. It just happened, I think. I'm sorry if you have been looking at my broken nail this whole time. I never noticed it. For my concealer, I'm gonna use Ciele's Conceal and Protect SPF 50. This is also a mineral SPF. Everything is a mineral SPF. This one has 21.34% zinc oxide and it also has 4.25 titanium dioxide. I have number 4N. This is a thicker concealer than what you are used to. I was a bit worried at first because this is a thicker concealer, but after I used it, I felt like it is not as thick as the Westman Atelier one, that it doesn't move around. It is a bit more hydrating, a bit thinner than the Westman Atelier one. It doesn't show up on the camera, but it has more of a peachy undertone. It looks more yellow in the camera. I'm gonna apply it straight to my under eyes. I've used it this way before and it has been fine. I'm gonna use my fingers first so that you can see how it applies using your fingers. You don't need a brush for this brand, as I said before. This is a very full coverage concealer, so if you want to add some coverage all over your face and you think the skin tint is not enough, this is a good addition to your base, and it's gonna protect your under eyes. I don't know why today I keep looking this way first. I'm sorry if it's annoying to you. I don't know what's happening to me. I keep turning towards the camera and look here first, then look at the camera. This is how it looks blended out. It looks really good. I'm gonna use a brush for this eye to show you how it applies with a brush as well. Obviously, brush is a lot easier to use, and I let this one sit a bit more. When you let it sit more, it gives you more coverage in the spot that you apply the concealer. Sometimes you just don't want to use your fingers, especially if you are wearing your outfit before your makeup. It is very risky to use the fingers. I'm gonna apply a little bit more on this side because the brush took some of the coverage away. See, when I blend it out, as soon as I apply it, it spreads more. But in general, I like applying it with my fingers a lot more. I feel like it melts it down and makes it more natural. My face looks very smooth, very flawless, even though it is not in its best shape right now. It is very dry. Whenever I travel, my skin is dry for a couple of days after. That's just how it is. I'm gonna clean up inside my brows a little bit. For that, I'm using this Bioderma micellar water and a Q-tip because I think I have some flaky skin in my brows and there is some foundation in it. This way I don't get my brow gel dirty too fast, and I also get back the color. Somebody asked me in one of the videos if these are my natural brows, and I commented back that they are. These are my natural brows, but in the past I've done a little bit of a tattoo right here. As you can see, like right here, and it's almost gone. The line on this eyebrow is more prominent, but everywhere else is my brows. There is a little bit of line here left as well. This brow does not have anything up to here. That is how much tattoo I have in my brows. I thought I should mention it before I mislead someone. This was the first year I got married, so it's like 12 years ago. Now let's get to the bronzer, blush, and highlighter. For my bronzer, I have Bronze and Protect SPF 50. I think I have the shade Bronze 1. This is how the bottle looks like. Again, mineral SPF. For the blush, I have Blush and Protect SPF 50 in the shade June. And for my highlighter, I have Glow and Protect SPF 50 in the shade Piper. Let me swatch them all for you. This is the bronzer, again in a dropper bottle, which I don't enjoy very much, but that's okay. We can work with it. This is bronze number 1. I thought online this shade was a bit more red than this. Shade 2 looked a bit more olive, but it was unavailable when I was picking this up, so I just picked this one up, and they didn't look that different. This is also a good product to mix with your foundation in summer. If you don't have a lot of foundations for different times of the year, this can help with the color of your foundation in summer. For blush, I'm gonna swatch it here. I picked up shade June because I thought this is a shade that can also double as a bronzer. It looks like a sunburned shade. This is the bronzer in Bronze 1. This is the blush in June. And let's try out the new Air product from their brand, which is the highlighter in the shade Piper. This is lovely too. And I saw she mixed them together online, so let me mix some of the highlighter with some of the blush and see what color we will get. Oh, that looks lovely. It gave me a more of a mauve tone. Since these are the same formula, you can mix them together and not lose the consistency of the sunscreen, because technically you cannot mix sunscreens together, but you have to know these are all makeup and they give you an extra protection. You have to use enough sunscreen underneath your makeup as well. You can use the prime and protect as much as it is needed for your whole face, or you can use a cheaper sunscreen and then use this on top as your primer. I have to say, I definitely feel like the primer made this concealer and foundation or skin tint look better. You can definitely use your fingers, but I don't want to get the bronzer underneath my nails, so I'm gonna use a brush. This is BK Beauty 116. I loaded my brush and I'm gonna apply it to my face now. This is a lot more pigmented than I thought, which is great because this is a liquid formula. If you think it is too much, you can always mix it with your foundation and make it lighter. You are receiving a lot of product basically, so it is good. A bit warmer than I like. Maybe shade 2 was a better choice for me, but it's okay, we'll make it work. These dry down a lot faster than I thought. It looks more red toned in real life and more natural than in the camera. The camera gives it a lot more contrast. It doesn't have that much contrast in real life. It also has a little bit of glow to it, which is making it look lovely. It dries down a bit faster than I thought, so I wasn't able to blend it out as well as I wanted, but it is a very lovely shade. It looks a lot more warmer in the camera, and I think that is because it has a bit of gold shimmer in it. But in real life, it actually matches my skin tone a lot better than the hand swatch. I'm gonna apply a little bit more of the skin tint to calm the bronzer down in the camera. I haven't used the bronzer, blush, or the highlighter before. The only two products I've used before was these two, and I knew how to work with them. I feel like with this brand there is a little bit of learning curve with everything that you are using, so don't get disappointed at first. For example, right now I didn't know that this is gonna dry down very fast, but you can fix it, it's okay. What is great about these products is that even if you apply a lot, it will still look good. Alright, I'm gonna use the blush now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply a dot on the back of my hand, then apply it to my face. This is a great sunburn shade, for me at least, for my skin tone. If your skin tone is closer to mine and you're looking for a sunburn shade, this might be it. This is the blush. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna apply a little bit more concealer to the center of my face to clean up everything and then apply my highlighter. I'm gonna use BK Beauty 110 again. Now I'm gonna go back with my bronzer slash blush brush and melt everything together. It's gonna be funny going back and watching the video and editing it to see when this happened. It might have been from the beginning of the video. Alright, let's use some of the highlighter now. This is a very cool toned highlighter, which is usually not my favorite, but the darker shade looked a bit too dark for me. It is a bit too icy for my liking, but that's okay because it is a very natural highlighter. It doesn't show up on my skin, the iciness, so I'm fine with it. This is the highlighter. I'm gonna mix a little bit of blush into the highlighter. The mixture of the two makes a very lovely mauvey shade. Ciele Cosmetics is also another brand that I really like. And like Ciele Creole makeup, it is a brand that I have liked everything I've tried from them so far. I'm very excited to see where the brand goes. I never picked up the stick version of their bronzers because the shades look too orangey, too warm for my skin tone. I might try number 2 in the store to see how it looks like because I don't want to grab it and then return it. But I thought number 2 was a bit orangier from the swatches. I'm also gonna use the shade June on my lips. Let me finish up the look and be back to give you my final thoughts. For my eyes, I used Merit's Solo Shadow in Social. I applied a little bit of the highlighter to my lips so that it matches the tone of the eyeshadow. And that's it. This is the finished look. I really like the consistency of the primer. The texture surprised me a lot because this is a mineral sunscreen. I expected it to be thicker and less moisturizing, but it was a very thin moisturizer slash primer slash sunscreen. I'm gonna use it more and update you guys on how much I like it, if I like it more, if I like it less, if it irritates my skin. But so far so good. I am very happy with the primer. The skin tint I've been using, I've been loving for a few months now. I really like the texture. This is a serumy texture and it is unlike every other skin tint that I have in my collection. It is not hard to work with by any means. I've been using this for a few months now and I am very happy with the results. It never gives me any irritation. It is very lightweight, so I can use it on top of any other skincare slash sunscreen that I want. The concealer, I was skeptical at first because I thought it was a bit drying for my under eyes, but after I used it a couple of times, it actually never dries out my under eyes. It stays on and it protects my under eyes from the sun rays with its SPF 50. The color matches my skin tone very well and it covers my dark under eyes very well. It is more on the full coverage side, so if you don't like a full coverage concealer, this is not for you, but it is not drying or anything. At first, when I saw the pictures online and the swatches, I thought it is gonna be very close in consistency to Westman Atelier concealer. But after I used them, I realized that that one is thicker on the swatches. That doesn't show up. When you compare them side by side in real life, it looks like that one is a bit thicker. The bronzer, as you saw, it is a serumy texture. I would have preferred it to be in a pump bottle or like a packaging that Makeup by Mario has, the doe foot applicator. But the packaging aside, I really like the texture of this bronzer. It is a very good bronzer to mix in with your foundation for the month of summer that your skin is a bit darker than it usually is in winter. At least that happens to me. You can use it as a primer as well, as an all over glow, all over bronze without even using a foundation if this matches your skin tone. I just wish it was a bit more cool toned. Do you remember Cover FX Sunkissed bronzer? They were in like bottles. They had a dropper as well, but they were thinner and longer. I really like the color of the Sunkissed bronzer in the Cover FX one. This has an extra SPF 50 protection as well, so that is a huge plus with this brand and with this product specifically. And the same goes with these two, except these two have doe foot applicators and I am very, very comfortable with this kind of packaging. I liked June a lot because it has more of a sun-kissed look, and if you want, you can use this in summer as your bronzer, so a mixture between bronzer and blush. I usually am not a pink highlighter person or a cool toned icy highlighter person, but this looked amazing. After it blended out, it looked seamless, it looked natural. I think that's it for this video. If you need any comparisons between these and any other products that you can think of, just let me know. Since these are very unique and they have SPF in them, I didn't have anything else in my collection to compare them to. But if you want any comparisons shade wise, just let me know. I can do it for you in a short format or even in a long format, depending on how many comparisons you want. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video and maybe consider subscribing if you haven't already. I am a smaller and newer YouTuber, and you liking my videos, sharing my videos, and subscribing to my channel will help me a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!